Hi, it's been quite a while since I made a video, but since it's the end of the year, I have done much better financially this year than I've done in years past. And so one of the challenges that I did for myself this calendar year, which has worked really well for me, so I'm putting it out there as a challenge for anybody else that wants to take it, is it's the end of December. So regardless of how you get paid, if it's every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, you should have gotten your last paycheck already for 2025. And so my challenge to you is to go through your net pay and figure out how much you brought home in the year of 2025. And then to go through a month's worth of expenses. And that includes everything. It includes for me personally, I have like a VPN charge that gets that I owe every single year, my annual HOA fees for my house, my Amazon Prime membership charge, my Sam's membership charge. So go through and do all of those things, all of your expenses for the year, and figure out how much money, if you just minus all of your expenses from your net pay, how much money you should be left over with at the end of the year. So in 2026, in 2025, I was only left with about 14% of my net pay that I could save, right? In 2026, I've reduced my expenses. And even though I bought a house, I've reduced my expenses. I'm giving more to charity in 2026 than I did in 2025. And I'm basing it off of my pay from last year. I should be able to save 28% of my net pay in 2026. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to save up for a couple large items. One, I want to buy a car in cash for my daughter, and she just had a baby, and I want to make sure that she has a much more reliable vehicle than she has right now. Currently, she drives a 2013 vehicle, and we're 6 hours apart. And right now, I wouldn't be comfortable asking her to drive here with the baby in the car with a 2013-year-old vehicle. So I know that's only, some of you might laugh and say, hey, that's only a 12-year-old car, but it's a 12-year-old car, right, with over 100,000 miles on it. So, and nothing's gone wrong with it so far, no big problems as far as the transmission or the engine or anything like that, but I certainly wouldn't want her to be stuck on the side of the road with a baby in the car. So anyways, so that's a very significant amount. 28% of my net pay I'm able to save. So at the end of 2026, I'll make another video and let you know how much out of that 28% I was actually able to save. So I'm putting myself on a very, very strict budget in order to be able to save that amount of money. But I have put in, slush funds for travel and slush funds for house cleaning and things like that I don't really need, so it may be that I am able to save more than 28% if I don't, if I underspend in those categories, which I think that I probably will, because I put together quite a bit there. And like I said, I'm giving more to charity than I thought that I would give to charity in 2026. And I'm able to more than double what I saved in 2025. So anyways, I put that out as a challenge to you. Before that, I was one of those people that is just like, man, it's the end of the year. I really don't have anything in savings besides, my 401k and my retirement. How is it that I make X amount of money, put in whatever amount of money that you make, and I don't have, $10,000-$20,000 sitting in the bank just in cash? How is it that that happens? And so for me last year, when I did this challenge for myself, I was able to be a lot more disciplined, having a goal in mind. Like this 28% is a very large number. Having this goal in mind, in order for me to achieve it, I have to live like really, really close to my budget in order to hit that number. So it really does help significantly. At least for me, I tend to be an impulsive overspender, not in debt or anything like that, just in general. you know, if I have an extra $1,000 sitting in the bank, I'll go to Lowe's and I'll buy. I spent over $1,000 in retaining wall blocks this year. Did I need to do that? No. If I didn't have it in my budget, which I didn't, I wouldn't spend it, right? So this year I've increased it to so that by 2027, the beginning of 2027, I'll be able to pay for my daughter's car in cash. And then her insurance and things like that won't go up because she's not working. So they would really like, if I was going to give them a gift like that, that it be something that is actually a gift and doesn't cost them more money than they actually pay now. So anyways, that's a little challenge for anybody who's, you know, looking to save a little bit more of the money that you make instead of spending it all. If you do it with what you made last year, what you took home last year, so your net pay, minus all of your expenses, I guarantee the number is pretty big of what you're left over with. And, you know, let's just, and I'm just putting this number out there, let's just say that you end up with $50,000 left, right? That means over the course of the year, you're spending $50,000 if you have nothing in savings, right? So my challenge to you is, okay, you know that you'll end up with $50,000 as long as you keep the same job and you make at least the same amount of money that you made last year. See how much of that $50,000 you can save, or whatever that number happens to be for you. You know, so for me, I'm not putting the actual number out there that I will be saving, but it's 28% of my net pay, which is quite a significant savings for me. It's more than I've ever saved in a calendar year ever before. So I'm challenging myself and I'm challenging you so that hopefully at the end of 2026, you'll have a fairly large amount of cash sitting around, or a sum of money that you've never had sitting in the bank before. So good luck. I hope that it goes well for you. And like I said, I'll check back in at the end of 2026 and let you know how I did. So 28% is my target. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed Happy New Year. And again, you know, my total calculations took me about 30 minutes in order to come up with these numbers, because I do live on a budget currently, so I know how much money I spend pretty much in every category. I just never really know what happens with that slush money, all that money that's kind of left over, and you know, that type of thing. So good luck. Happy New Year. I hope God blesses you and keeps you in the new year.